Hello friends, Kelly here. This year we went on our big trip to Portland, Oregon and the surrounding area. And of course, I brought my sketchbook. I hope you bring your sketchbook with you on your journey. It is so fun to actually have something to delve into and to savor your trip. That's more than just taking photos with your phone. But there are times when I have my sketchbook out and we're walking through a new town or going on a hike, and I'm actually just not sure what to draw. When there are so many new things around you, it can be difficult to know how to even put those memories down on a blank page. So I wanted to share 10 ideas on how to fill your travel sketchbook. These are 10 fun prompts that I hope will inspire you to bring your sketchbook with you wherever you go, and especially on those special, memorable trips. I also have a few extra tips at the end of this video for getting the most out of your sketchbook on your next journey. So in no particular order, my very first prompt is draw the nature around you. Draw the landscape. This is my personal favorite thing to draw when I'm out and about and out on my adventures. It can be something as big as the entire landscape that you see. Maybe you're at a really good view and you want to just capture that moment. It can be something as small as, noticing the different flowers, the different fungus, the different birds that are in this new place, and documenting those creatures and those pieces of nature and wanting to just explore maybe some of the small things that you notice. On our trip this summer, we went to a small waterfall, and the little river, little stream went through so many beautiful mossy logs and trees, and I just wanted to kind of capture that moment here. And this one was really fun because it was just getting color down, just, putting out some shapes and form, and really not having a huge plan, but just going for it. Sometimes it is difficult to take an entire view that you see around you and to focus it into something small that you can put on a page. And so I might recommend, taking out your phone and trying to just take a picture of the one small area that you want to draw. If you have a hard time narrowing it down, then you can focus on that one small piece of the puzzle rather than trying to capture every single thing you see. I was really happy with how this page turned out. I tried to have different strokes of different color to kind of show the movement of the water, and where there was a splash and foam and where there was just moving, trickling water. It was a gorgeous stream, a gorgeous place to be, and I'm really glad that I took an extra few minutes, an extra maybe 20 minutes to just sit down and work on this piece. The next drawing prompt for your travel sketchbook is to draw a map. Draw the map of the country or the state or the county where you're going, and point out the specific places where you'll be visiting. And maybe it's just one specific town or city and you want to map out the area a little bit. Put some special markers on where's your hotel, where are you staying. Put a special marker on your favorite, coffee shop that you went to. Maybe you put a marker on a really cool park you explored. Here, of course, I did the state of Oregon, and my little markers are Portland, which was, where we flew in and out of. Mount Hood, we spent several days near Mount Hood and hiking and just exploring that area. And then we went to Tillamook, drove through Tillamook State Forest, and of course had to stop for ice cream at the Tillamook Creamery, and then spent a few days in Cannon Beach, which is a gorgeous beach on the west coast there, and we really enjoyed just some quiet beach time. But this was really fun too, to kind of explore, where are these places on the map, and it's fun to go back and see these types of pages and remember the specific, places that you were at. And I, of course, added a few little drawings of Mount Hood and the beach and some of the beautiful trees and forest, all the things that remind me of this vacation and remind me of Oregon. My next sketchbook idea is for you to draw the people that you are traveling with. I really hope that you are traveling with friends or family members, or maybe you are going solo, but you're, experiencing new people and meeting other people out and about, and document that. Document what are your, travel companions enjoying. My husband loves fishing and was absolutely enjoying the ponds and the streams and fishing for trout, and it was so fun to watch him enjoy that. So of course I had to draw him out fishing, draw one of the trout that he caught. I think it's important to remember, who you're traveling with. It's another prompt that's fun to look back on and think about the people you were with and the memories that you all made together. The next prompt is another one of my favorites. I love doing little spreads where you draw what's in your bag. So I recommend maybe you draw what's in your suitcase, or what is in your purse that you carry with you every day, or what's in your fanny pack. For me, I drew what's in my hiking bag. So here we have art supplies, snacks, accessories, my phone, my sketchbook, sunglasses, lots and lots of water, and of course I carry my hiking poles with me. And I always find it really fun and personal to know what everybody carries in their bag, because everyone carries different things. Everyone wants to have different things on them at all times. And I just always think this is a fun prompt. I've done it before for other bags and other trips, and it's really fun to look back on. And I hope that you enjoy, drawing what you've been carrying around the whole trip. Going on a big adventure, you're often carrying a lot of things with you, and it's kind of fun to kind of give a nod to the travel companion that is with you wherever you go, which is your day bag. My next idea for your travel sketchbook is to draw what you eat. This is definitely one of my favorite parts of traveling, is just getting to eat a ton of new and different and fun food. And of course, on our trip to Oregon, like I mentioned before, we stopped in Tillamook so we could get some ice cream, and that was just a very special, fun memory that we had of stopping and getting to see where all the cheese is made, and getting to try a bunch of fun flavors and things. So I had to draw our little Tillamook ice cream cones of the campfire peanut butter cup and dark cherry, both really, really good flavors that I recommend. But food can be one of the most fun things when you're traveling to a different place. It's often something new. There's always a local dish. There's always, even just maybe a fun treat you got at a bakery that made the trip special and made the trip different. The next prompt is to draw during your transportation. And what I mean by that is when you travel, there is a lot of time in a plane, on a train, in an automobile, whatever that is for your trip. And when you are in transit, that is one of the best times to take out your sketchbook and have a few minutes to work in it. And you can draw your surroundings within the train or plane. You can draw what you see outside the window. Here I'm drawing my view of Mount Hood as we're driving around all the winding mountain roads. And you could even, when you're at a train station, when you're at the airport, you can draw the terminal, you can draw the place where you're sitting. It's just a great time to be able to take an extra 15 minutes, whether you were, watching something on your phone or reading or something, maybe put it away for just 15 minutes and get your sketchbook out, because that is a really excellent time to make use of your sketchbook. I know when you're traveling, it's hard to always have the time to actually sit down and draw a lot. But it's one of the few instances when your travel is in the transportation where you actually have time to just sit there. The next drawing prompt is to draw local attractions. And this can mean a variety of things. It can be, it can be a building, a statue, a famous park. In our case, we were at Cannon Beach, and they have this huge rock called Haystack Rock that is very prominent wherever you are. On the beach, you can see that rock. It's a very common place for tourists to go and see a lot of wildlife, and it's kind of a major feature of Cannon Beach. And every place you go will have something like this, and maybe it's a specific museum or an amusement park or something like that. But maybe there's a main square and there's a fountain or a statue, or maybe if you're out in the wilderness, there's a main attraction like the highest peak, or maybe a river that is the biggest landmark there in your area. It can feel kind of obvious to just draw the main attraction where you're at, but of course I feel like that really connects you to where you are and the culture and the landscape that you are currently in. So definitely don't forget to draw some local attractions. So my 7th drawing prompt isn't really a drawing prompt at all. It's actually a prompt to write down your favorite places or take notes on places that you've been. Take some time to actually write a little journal entry. And I think it's totally fair to have a bunch of writing in your sketchbook. Your sketchbook doesn't have to be just drawings. You can also write down your ideas in words or any other way that you like to communicate. These are some of my favorite pages in my travel sketchbooks, is reading through what I was thinking that day, what I was doing that day, just even if it's just a bullet point of these are the places we went, these are the hikes we went on, these are the restaurants we went to. That's all so valuable because a lot of the time you just completely forget where you were or what you were thinking or what you were doing. And to have it actually written out like that is so, so valuable. And of course, you can still draw. You can doodle in the margins. Maybe you make a bigger drawing and then write around it. There are lots of different ways to incorporate the written word into your sketchbook, and especially for a travel sketchbook where you're trying to capture all these memories, sometimes it's helpful to make notes and to write down some other experiences in full sentences, or maybe just jotting down words here or there when you're referring to a specific drawing. But I really love to keep a detailed list of where we've been. It's just really fun to look back on and remember all the things you did. The next idea is to draw all of your outfits. So I really find this fun because I like to draw clothing, and it's like fun to remember what I was wearing throughout the course of the trip for the different activities we were doing. And of course, you'll have photos of yourself out and about, but this is kind of a fun little way to incorporate other parts of you within the travel journey and not just drawing all the new things you see. So here I have travel outfits. One up on the top here is kind of my on the town outfit, a little dress and a denim shirt. And then I drew my hiking outfit, and this is what I wore, or some version of this is what I wore every day we were hiking. I had to include my hiking poles, of course. And then I have my coat and gloves on for our windy beach walks. So it's just kind of fun to see, oh, these are the types of things that I was wearing and what I was wearing to those different places. And if you have the time and enjoy drawing clothes, it could be really fun to do a full spread on every single clothing item you have and how you mix and matched them to create different outfits. I always really love seeing how people pack for big trips and pack for their adventures so that they can have a variety of fun different outfits while still only bringing a few pieces. So I always find that really fun, but give it a shot if you haven't drawn your outfits before. Last but certainly not least, this is one of my favorite prompts as well, is just to try to gather some printed materials. Maybe you gather some stickers or washi tape and maybe magazines or tickets, any sort of flyers, anything that you can take with you. And when you come home, you can cut them up and create a collage. Here I was able to fill up 2 different pages. I had a sticker from a lodge at Mount Hood. I had some printed material from Tillamook. I had a chairlift ticket that I thought was pretty. And I even was able to grab from Cannon Beach just one of their free, visitors guides. And I was able to find the places that we went within that and cut out those pictures and put them together. So you can draw over top of your, collage. You can do kind of a mix of collage and notes or collage and drawing. But I always find this so much fun to look back and remember, and it's just really fun to put together too. Stickers especially are really fun to look for. Whenever I'm out and about, I am always looking at all the sticker choices and gathering some stickers so I can use them for collage works like this. Plus, if you're not a big collage person, it's just a really fun exercise to do once in a while that I highly recommend, and it gets your creativity moving in a different way that isn't just about drawing. I just feel like it adds so much texture and color and fun, and is just so very different from the rest of my sketchbook. So I hope you try that out next time that you're traveling. Look for tickets, postcards, stickers. You can even print out your own photos, and you'll find that it's just a really fun way to keep those memories in your sketchbook. And like I promised, I do have a few extra tips on travel sketchbooks and travel journals. So I could probably do a whole video just about what materials to bring, but my general advice is to bring maybe 5 to 10 or 5 to 12 of your favorite supplies. And I mean to really make sure they're your favorite. Know that you are going to be excited to use them, and they need to be tools that you're really, really excited to work with and that you're really comfortable working with. Whether it's pens or paints or pencils or markers, whatever you like to use, you want to bring supplies that you are actually going to grab and actually take out of your bag and want to use. A big trip like this isn't the best time to be testing out new supplies, because if you're testing out new materials, you might find you don't like them very much or they're harder to use. It's going to be more of a barrier to entry to actually using your sketchbook if you're worried about a new pen or how to use pastels if you've never used them before, or any other manner of things. So I recommend just bringing your absolute favorites. But you also want to make sure you're not bringing too many supplies. I think everything should be able to fit in one small pouch, and it shouldn't be too heavy. I actually find it really great to be limited on your color palette, because then you spend less time with decision fatigue on what colors to use and more time actually putting marks on the page. And of course, you need to make sure your supplies are portable enough to actually bring them with you and put them in whatever day bag you're bringing. So if you know you're going to bring a specific fanny pack or purse or backpack, that whatever bag you're going to use every single day, make sure your sketchbook and your supplies fit neatly in there and it's not too heavy. Because if your supplies or your sketchbook are too heavy, you're not going to be wanting to carry them around, and you really need your sketchbook and supplies to be with you at all times, because you never know when you're going to have a moment to sit down and draw, and you want to utilize every moment you have on a very busy trip like that. You can't be bringing your sketchbook all the way to, say, Amsterdam and then leaving it at the hotel. My next tip is don't forget to take videos and photos. Of course, we want to use our travel sketchbooks to really sit in the memories and to absorb the memories in a deeper way. But if you do take photos and videos, you can use them as references to go back to. At least for my husband and I and the way we travel, we're often going so fast through all of our activities that I don't often have time to sit down at the top of the mountain and draw there, or I might not have time to actually sit down and draw at the restaurant. But I can take a few photos, and then when I'm back at the hotel before bed, or I'm on the train, in those moments where I have a little bit more time, then I can add those memories to the sketchbook. And so it's better to have a few references just in case you want to add that memory into your sketchbook. And of course, it's great to have photo and video just to look back on. It's also totally fine if you aren't able to fill your sketchbook as much as you want to on your trip. Those photos and videos will help you fill in your sketchbook even when you get back from the trip. It's okay to fill in your travel sketchbook when you're at home. Another big tip is to remember that your travel sketchbook is not meant to be perfect. Like I've said so much already, you aren't always going to have an hour to fill in one page. Most of the pages that I filled in and showed you here, I had max 30 minutes, usually more about 15-20 minutes to quick do a sketch in my sketchbook. So remember that even a 2-minute scribble or 5-minute doodle is going to be better than nothing in your sketchbook at all. And you can always go back and add more detail later if you weren't able to put as much time and energy and thought into it as you wanted to. But it's also great to leave things the way they are. Leave things messy, leave things scribbly. I think that just kind of adds to the memory and adds to the charm of your personalized travel sketchbook. Traveling with a sketchbook is truly one of my favorite ways to remember a trip. Drawing and writing really helps your brain to remember things better, and I enjoy being able to study the specific landscape and features around me, and spending an extra few minutes engraving that moment into my memory is so helpful and meaningful. And so I really hope you bring a sketchbook with you the next time you travel, whether you're a seasoned artist or just beginning. Bringing a sketchbook with you wherever you go is going to be so much fun to look back on, and you'll just be able to explore so much more during the trip when your eyes are open to all the possibilities and your creative brain is turned on. So I hope you try some of these drawing prompts on your next adventure. Safe travels, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.